Welcome everybody. Today I'll be checking out the brand new dev update that just dropped on this fine Halloween Thursdoid. Let's go. Okay, so where we're at. We have a limited number of external testers running around the current build 42, and their first impressions have been positive, which has been a relief. There remains, however, much to do. In the coming weeks, we will be getting more and more feedback on the more in-depth systems like animals and new crafting, and in turn addressing it. Tester feedback. Here's some of the initial feedback we received, though please note that these were not yet from extended multi-week playthroughs. Darkness. I found I wasn't running into zombies like I usually would, randomly scattered throughout the place, until an alarm came, and that was absolutely brutal. I didn't think it would draw so many, and the darkness is unforgiving too. I was scrambling for lampposts for their spotlight, trying to fight off what was left chasing me until I was exhausted and finally able to rest. Damn, so it sounds like with all the new lighting changes, nighttime is going to be way more dark and brutal, which should actually bring a use to flashlights, as they're kind of pointless right now in my opinion. In regards to the darkness, I think it's perfect. I love the horror feeling of it. You really actually fully need a flashlight. You think, oh thank flip I have some light, rather than, ugh, this barely lights anything. There was a time flashlights barely had a reason to be in the game at all, so this is better. Well yeah, that just basically confirms what I just guessed. I had a great moment with the darkness change. I got cocky and had a small horde chase me. I ran into a store with the plan of trying to lose them out the back. I opened and closed behind me a random door inside to try lose them. I was accidentally now stood in pitch black. I scrambled for the glowing light switch as the door was now being slammed by the chasing horde, only to realise I'd run into the world's tiniest bathroom. Related to darkness, and also because of the spooky season, today we also thought we would show off our new abandoned sanatorium location, which is a fictionalised version of the real-life Waverly Hills. As with the IRL version, it also comes with a death tunnel, which was once used to carry deceased patients out of the building. So the video that's been playing in the background showcases this sanatorium, and it's just fitting that they released it on Halloween. It does look very cool, and I really like that they're adding more scary, horror type things to the game. Zeds. The empty road felt really rural, like how I'd expect to drive down my road both currently and in an apocalypse. Then I was just on my way out of Rosewood now, and because it was foggy, I accidentally stumbled into the prison, driving. Holy sheesh. Outside is crazy. I cannot imagine inside. I barely got out of the gate with my car. A true trailer, but I would never make it home moment. So if you didn't already see in the last Thursdoid, they've changed the zombie spawn heat map. So now you won't find as many zombies wandering around the roads and rural areas. They'll be more concentrated around buildings and focal points. Just started a new game in West Point with the aim of trying Louisville, and noticed the streets outside are very quiet, with the occasional Zeds dotted about, and it gave off cool 28 days later vibes. Ran around building to building thinking, this is too easy, nothing is stopping me, when after bashing 15 Zeds heads in, muscle strain kicked in. Felt like a cool way of setting atmosphere without being too easy. Feels pretty balanced so far. Damn, so he got muscle strain after just 15 kills. That sounds like it's going to change the game quite a bit. Truly, the changes to the grouping are so good. Probably the most quality of life change for me. It really makes the world feel more alive in a way. Instead of having zombies spread out everywhere and having to do the lure away ball up, rinse and repeat just to get to an area, now it really feels like I can sneak around and explore areas while losing a group, instead of knowing that I'm going to run into a ton more and just shouting instead to get it over with. Okay, yeah, I do like the sound of that, to be honest. Normally if you do try stealth and sneak around the back of a place, there's usually some random zombies walking around there, which can make it pretty tough, but I like the sound of this change. As discussed last time, we have put a lot more thought into how, where and why Zeds spawn in the locations they do in Build 42. This was a primary thing we asked the testers to report back on, and, as seen above, they seem to like it. There are remaining concerns that rural areas might be a little too empty, but we will address this as more feedback comes in. In the meantime, the following video gives a good feel for how things compare to Build 41, and the second half of it is also a good demo of the lighting. So you would have seen that video being playing in the background, but I will repeat it again. With the new procedurally generated forests that are coming, they definitely need to address the zombies spawning in rural areas, because if you just go on a long walk, You'll probably never see many zombies again, which doesn't really make sense in a zombie game. Also, looking at this video, nighttime seems genuinely terrifying. Like, this has just become a real horror game. I'm not looking forward to that. Well, I am, but I'm terrified. General. I do really like how many different containers can be filled with liquids now. Makes finding a drinking source early way less frustrating. Thumbs up. I like the doors swinging open, and the game actually feels much smoother. Holy flip. A basement. I wasn't expecting that. Man, it's awesome. Yeah, you guys really flipping hit it out of the park already. What the hell, this is sick. Even though I've played in this area probably 100 times, seeing the stairs going down and then finding this area just made me feel like I was playing the game for the first time again. WTF. Also super happy with the traits. It was a bit of a shocker. Smoker no longer OP. Damn, I love the smoker trait. It really is 3 points, but I guess that's actually going to have an effect on your health now maybe. I would assume fitness too. The voiceovers actually helped a lot with immersion. I felt it. I like the brutalness of the combat, in terms of combat fatigue, needing to rest more and training that skill up as you progress. It felt fun and fresh. Love the density. It's terrifying. The first thing I noticed was the map in and around Muldraw. Within 15 minutes I encountered Cortman Medical and was amazed. I actually had to pull out the online PZ map to compare. It was that amazing. This extended to each house I visited. Beautiful. So that's the end of all the tester feedback so far. Obviously they've just selected a few of them that are mainly positive. They haven't showed too much in terms of what they need to change, but this next section is titled What We're Improving. Clearly, any playtest won't be all roses, and the fact that the new testers were PZ mega fans should be taken into account too. And also, although there's a lot of quotes above, it should be noted that the current set of testers is small, and many of these bullet points come from the same people. We also got pointers on Zed Awareness, the discomfort system, and much more on other new additions that we'll need to keep an eye on as the test pool goes wider. Likewise, as mentioned before, we will also need feedback from the more elongated play sessions, and far more contact with the huge new systems like crafting and animal husbandry. Combat tightening. Something that the test sessions revealed were some combat irregularities that needed to be addressed and were resulting in unfair deaths, and which in turn was limiting people's fun and exploration. Yeah, that's one way to ruin this game, is some crazy unfair deaths. This has led us toward doing a deep dive into both some issues that have been introduced during 42 dev and also some legacy issues from Build 41 that deal with Zed targeting. The latter could explain some of the rare edge case combat irregularities that seasoned 41 players might have come across during their bouts of survival. It's our hope that the results of this will bring some added consistency to combat in general. Crafting. The crafting UI needs more love, and attention will turn to this once we are 100% happy with the new build menu. You can see the crafting UI in its current form in this lovely little video that's been made for Halloween. And it definitely looks like an improvement because the current building menu is just awful. For the past half a year or so, we have had 6 people working on our new vision for crafting. As regular readers will know, delays with it have been a primary reason that things have been held back. During Build 42 development, we didn't build in enough safeguards should key members of the team become unavailable due to illness or personal matters. This is now very much a lesson that has been learned and, alongside new production and support staff who have been brought in over the past 6 months, this is not a bear trap we intend to step into ever again. We are really sorry that it has led to such an understandable frustration in the community. We are currently very happy with the progress being made by the crafting team and can't wait for the time at which you can take all their work out for a spin. Then they add some notes for the modders, which ends by saying, this means that in Build 42, it should be a far simpler matter for modders to add new building options for their subscribers. The devs are obviously aware at how big modding is for this game, so widening the support for modders is only going to help them. Animals. Animals and animal husbandry are currently in polish and bug fix mode, waiting on more extended playtesting. One thing, however, we would dearly like to improve is the current requirements on players to draw their own animal zone around sheep, pig and cow enclosures to ensure that they feed, mate and develop while their player is off screen. During the development of 42, we have expanded our team and knowledge pool, and can now likely improve this, and as such, the prof is looking into ways to use an algorithm to automate the process around each animal, thereby removing the need for manual zoning from the player. If we can make this work, however, it will likely be an addition to the unstable beta as opposed to being a feature at unstable launch. Zed Awareness / stealth. Something the new lighting and Zed spawn has flagged is that our Zed Awareness needs some polish. While its inclusion will likely not be a part of the unstable beta, we are rebalancing zombie senses so that they better take into account sneak levels, zombie focus and direction as per usual, but also take into account lighting, low obstacles like fences and bushes, and yes, weather effects like rain and fog. Okay, finally, because when it's super foggy outside and all the zombies can see you like normal, that just doesn't make sense to me. And the final section is reading materials. Last time we showed some of the flyers that we'd been creating, which will serve the gameplay purpose of directing players, especially new ones, to interesting locations, good places to loot, and satisfying places to hold out inside. We've received some valid feedback in that, even if supposed to look 90s-ish, some of the graphic design could be improved, and as such this past month got our friend Stuart, who in a former life was the art director on various London fashion celeb mags, in on the case. While we were overall happy with what we had before, we do feel these are now far improved and getting completed far more quickly to boot. Well guys, that is it for this month's Thursdoid. Still no indication at all on any kind of release date, which I'm sure people will be a little frustrated about. It would be nice to get just any sort of inkling on even a quarter, because it's not really seeming like it's going to be this year at this point. But hey, you never know. I'm going to hold out hope. There's still 2 more months to go, but let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, and peace.